Well, that wasn't the prettiest shot, and if you're having problems with that, then we have some tips that might be able to help you out. We're going to talk about some new golf club technology, especially for those of you who have problems hitting your 3 and 4 and sometimes your 5 iron. We have a hybrid club. We're going to talk about that. It's a kind of a cross between a driver and an iron. We're going to show you what that is and talk a little bit about it and how it might be able to help you take some shots off your game. Coming up. Ooh, well, that wasn't very pretty. I'm Jeff Benyon, and if you hit your 4 iron like I just hit mine, which wasn't very good, then today we're going to talk about some new golf club technology that's going to be able to help you take some scores, or excuse me, lower your scores and take some shots off your game. We are going to talk today about the hybrid golf club. It's a new technology. It's kind of a cross between an iron and a fairway wood, and I bring in Bob Gooding. He's a golf club maker. Bob, how are you today, Bob?
I'm great, Jeff.
Now, what is this that you have? This is an actual hybrid club, right?
This is a hybrid 4 iron.
Well, kind of, if you look at it, here's your hybrid club. Here's your typical 4 iron. And if you want to grab that 5 wood right behind you, here's your typical fairway wood. So the hybrid club, which is in the middle, it's kind of a cross between the fairway wood and the iron. Now, this club, sometimes it's called a utility club. Sometimes it's called a rescue club, and it's gained a lot of popularity among recreational golfers. Recreational golfers. And Bob, I'm going to ask you why that is. Why is this hybrid club such a popular club among today's golfers? Even the pros are using them now.
Well, Jeff, the reason you're having trouble hitting your 4 iron is because the manufacturers years ago started making the clubs to go a little bit farther.
Right.
And what they did was they played around with the shafts, but they also took the loft of the club and made it more upright. They made a 5 iron like a 4 iron and a 4 iron like a 3 iron. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, oh, I can hit these farther. These must be great clubs.
That's not so true.
But all of a sudden, when you get down to the 3 iron, it's now like a 2 iron or even closer to a 1 iron, and you can't hit it. So what they did was they thought, now, how can we replace those with something that the players can hit? Players started putting in 7 woods and 9 woods and 11 woods and leaving the irons at home.
They're just using those fairway woods instead of their irons.
Exactly.
You know what, honestly, I got to tell you, I'm probably a 18 or 19 handicap in. I hardly ever pull my 3 or 4 iron out of the club or out of the bag. I try to use other clubs to get the distance that I need because I can't control it. I hardly ever get any loft, and I think that's a lot of problems that recreational golfers have because there is no loft. It's such a low degree. It's hard for that ball to get up in the air, and I think a lot of golfers have problems with that, and that's what the hybrid is starting to try to correct.
That's true.
Well, let's hit a couple and see if we can't see how magical this club really is.
You hit one with your iron, then you can hit one with mine.
Okay, we'll give it a shot. All right, I'm going to hit my traditional 4 iron, and let's see what happens. All right, well, that was the traditional 4 iron, and as you can see, I hit a couple good, I hit a couple bad, so we're going to try out this hybrid and see what that'll do for me. Now we're going to attempt to hit the hybrid 4, and I'm going to be honest with everyone, I've only hit this club maybe once or twice, and it hasn't been great yet. But so, Bob, how am I supposed to hit this? Just like I would a normal 4 iron? What's the setup like?
Well, this club has the same loft as a 4 iron, it has the same length as a 4 iron, and one of the beauties of it is you can hit it like a wood, like you can pick it off the grass. Right. Or you can hit down into the ball like you do with an iron. You take a divot. Okay. You can hit it either way. If you want it to go higher, you hit it like a 7 wood. Okay. If you want to hit a little low, you hit down into it like an iron. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to give it a shot. Here we go.
Well, if all of them are like that, I'm sold. All right, well, I hit the 4-iron, the traditional 4-iron, and I hit the hybrid 4. And I don't know, Bob, I felt pretty good hitting the 4. I mean, I hit good shots with both of them, but I felt like I hit more consistent shots with this. And when I really got a hold of the ball with the hybrid 4, I hit it longer. I felt like I hit it more solid, and it got up in the air a lot easier versus this, which I think we saw. I sculled a couple, and I hooked and sliced a couple too. So I told you before, I have a lot of problems hitting my 3 and 4 irons, but I felt this was I'm sold. I think the hybrid is great. What'd you see?
Well, I saw pretty much the same thing, because when you hit the ball well and solid, the ball did go higher and it would land softer on the green. And one of the reasons for that is you can see that the face on the hybrid is shallow, opposed to the face height on your iron.
Yep.
That means that the center of gravity, or the sweet spot of the club, is lower on the club. It gets below the center of gravity of the ball and causes the ball to go up with underspin. Okay? Now, what you haven't done is showed them another use for this club.
Oh yeah, what's that?
And that is right off the edge of the green. It makes a very nice putter.
It does, doesn't it?
When you putt from the fringe of the green, sometimes the grass will bother your shot, but with a little bit more loft, it'll lift the ball over that and make it land on the edge of the green and roll all the way to the pin, hopefully.
Good deal.
But that's another use of the hybrid club.
Well, I think recreational golfers are really going to love the hybrid club, and the professionals are even using them now. I think there's 46 players on the PGA that are currently using a hybrid, some type of a hybrid club. And just recently, Jim Furyk won the Wachovia Championship, and he uses a hybrid club. And 2 years ago, in the 2004 British Open, I believe it was Todd Hamilton who won the British Open at Royal Troon. He uses a hybrid club as well. So even the professionals are using the hybrids. I'm telling you folks, it's a lot easier to hit. I'm really looking forward to putting one of these in my bag. Let's talk about price of these hybrid clubs. Almost every manufacturer has some type of hybrid brand or hybrid club now. What's the typical price range? And is there a high-end hybrid club versus a low-end hybrid club? What are recreational golfers looking at paying for one of these?
You can buy a hybrid club anywhere from about $100 on up to $200. That's basically the range that they're in. You'll also, one difference you'll find is that some of them, for instance, a lot of people talk about the Rescue Club, which is made by TaylorMade. TaylorMade uses an iron shaft, a regular iron shaft in the club. My club has a wood shaft in it, which means it's a little bit thinner down here in the bottom area, tip end of the shaft, and it actually has a little bit more action with the head and gets the ball up a little bit easier. So if one of your problems is getting the ball up, buy a hybrid with a wood shaft in it rather than an iron shaft.
Excellent, and Bob can even make that for you if you ask for it, right?
Strangely, I can.
Well, we want to thank Bob today for joining us. We talked about the hybrid club today. If you have any questions, make sure you log on to our website. I'm Jeff Benyon. Make sure you come back next week and join us. We'll talk more about golf tips of the day.